that you're in a tough position tonight on these shows to have to come on, and I don't know if you necessarily defend these remarks, but you do support him as a candidate. So why?
Well, I don't defend these remarks, and I think all of the actions that are being alleged right now are horrible, and they're evil, and they should not be happening in the workplace or anywhere personally or professionally. But I would have a lot more credibility with these, Dawn, if they were brought out months ago instead of 32, 33 days before the election. This just shows how this is politically motivated. These information, all of these stories, everything, they didn't happen yesterday. They didn't happen last week. These are stories that just have been around, and just magically they're being used right now. I would put a lot more credibility in these women if they really were hurt, if they really were assaulted, if they really were as damaged by Donald Trump as they said, if they would have gone to this prior, months ago, weeks ago. And right now, at this stage in the game, the Republican Party,
some of these things were filed before, and they just, you know, now.
And they're just magically coming out. So I mean, this story right now has been out.
What about specifically to the audio tape and the video of him on Access Hollywood?
Well, this is a video that Access Hollywood, for them just to think that, you know, for us to just believe they've had this for 11 years and magically on Monday they came across it, I find that very hard to believe. I think this just shows the working between some media parts and the Hillary Clinton campaign. And I think your prior guest, your prior segment was right when they said, this is all about disenfranchising. That shows just how scared the Hillary Clinton camp is right now about people, the turnout that's going to come out on Election Day.
So it's the timing for you. It's not the actual. It's not the actions or the alleged actions. It's the timing for you.
Well, like I said, I would put more credibility. And even in the story, as you pointed out, this woman was supposedly sexually harassed, was actually thrown down. Whatever the story that goes along with it, horrible, deplorable things. However, she had dated him afterwards for whatever reason, whatever excuse she gives.
Don.
Why were these stuff not coming out months ago? And Republicans right now.
I can answer that. I can answer.
Okay,
let me just say this. I challenge Donald Trump to release all of his employees from their non-disclosure clauses, which many of them have been required to sign, and you will see an avalanche, a tsunami of women who are coming out with similar experiences that they will allege about having been the victims of Donald Trump. And so I challenge you to do that. And by the way, there's no right time. There is no wrong time. It's always the right time to come out and speak the truth. If the women are speaking the truth, let them do it. And I think that Donald Trump should promise not to retaliate against them if they do.
But Gloria, isn't there a reason why we have something called a statute of limitations? Isn't there a reason why there is a timing on this? And you cannot negate the fact that here we are 30 days out from a very important presidential election, that these stories are every day coming out. And you have to start doubting the credibility of some. Some might be true. But like I said, I would have had a lot more sympathy for them if this was not such a political move 30-something days before the election.
Anna.
Scottie, there is no statute of limitations on the truth.
On stories, though.
There's no statute of limitations.
Then why did they take him to court?
You know what? Because a woman can suffer and not either have the ability to take them to court or be in fear of somebody who's rich and powerful and famous, and as Donald Trump characterizes himself, as a star. And what about not only our daughters who are listening to this, what about our sons? What kind of role model is this? Are our sons going to think that somehow it's okay to call women by the P word, by the T word, by the B word, by every other word that he uses to denigrate women? And here he is.
Okay, Gloria, but Scottie, hold on. That's not an allegation. We actually heard those words on tape. But I have to give Anna a chance. She's been sitting patiently. Anna, I know that you were on it. I don't know if you want to talk about what's your reaction when you first heard them, or do you want to respond to what they were just saying now?
I don't want to respond to what they're talking about, because I think a discussion, an argument about the timing is frankly irrelevant. And I think that these women deserve more dignity than this. It is like with the Bill Cosby case. Who cares what the timing of the allegations are? What matters is that it happened. Right now, what I want to focus on is what the Republican Party is going to do. And I want to tell you, look, I'm so happy that Paul Ryan did the right thing and canceled that event with Donald Trump tomorrow. But I would say to my friend Paul, who I know is a good son, a good husband, a good father, a decent man who cares deeply about women, who is a respectful man. If you can't stand on a stage next to this man, how can you support him? If you are sickened by his words, how can you support him? And I think that is the question that every Republican who is condemning the words needs to ask themselves today. It is not enough to condemn his words. It is absolutely necessary to withdraw support. It is necessary to tell Donald Trump, Donald, you are fired. We cannot run the risk that a misogynist, that a sexist, that a man who is boasting about sexual predatory behavior be president of the United States. Yeah. He is not fit to represent Republican values. He is not fit to represent American values. And this is way too serious for us not to take action and take action tonight. I'm reading all these condemnations by Ted Cruz and by others. Folks, stop pontificating. Stop talking about what the right thing is and do the right thing. Look at your conscience. Look at your daughters today as they sleep. Look at your wives. Talk to them and ask yourselves, how do I explain this to these children?
Anna, Scottie, and Gloria, I have to take a break. We'll continue with this same panel right after this. We'll be right back.